I'm gonna start the recording because this is like a perfect recap. Like you're actually recapping my brain and like prompting me to remember what happened last time.
Well, I haven't started the recap yet,
Because I feel
so
like this is how the end of last episode progressed. Is Tyler's all like, "Oh, we've totally got this," and then there was the whole thing like, "Oh wait, we're capturing this like flying snake thing." Isn't one of the heroes a zookeeper on the side? And is
yeah,
that a good set of skills for this adventure?
one might say that she has a certain set of skills. Um,
Is it time for the
are
theme
we?
music?
Yeah, I was about to say, are we live? Are we?
Do do
Well,
do
I
do
started
do
recording
do
just
do 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 do. Stupor
On
Heroes.
that note, Stupor
Stupor
Heroes.
Heroes. That was almost like Knight
Upata.
Rider, you know? I was feeling it.
Okay, well, last we left off our intrepid air quotes heroes. I'd spent some time chatting up Dr. Blag at the Nuclear Particle Accelerator Research Laboratory, um, trying to find some information about parallel timelines and alternate universes, and failing that, went on to learning about breaking force fields that the Necropancer seemed to surround himself with.
And all the research we did was for
Oh, we
naught.
haven't gotten to there yet. That oh yeah, that no, that was before you went to the Nuclear Particle Accelerator Research Laboratory, where you'd spent several hours researching alternate timelines on your own and ended up downloading and printing the entire Sliders wiki.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I am furiously brainstorming. I'm like throwing all of the wadded paper against the wall.
After that, and Dr. Blag suggesting that since the Necropancer appeared to be using was magical and not technological in nature, that they might need something magical in order to break it, and that most of the magical items that are not locked down in Defenders HQ are loose in a place known as the Dungeon Beneath the City. And that Dr. Blag has a contact by the name of Morgan who hangs out in a pizza parlor. Now, um, they went to the affordable pizza parlor, had some pretty acceptable pizza and lukewarm and flat soda, and chatted them up, learned that there traps in all manner of ungodly things in the dungeon. However, getting in there right now is a bit of a trick because they're sorry, I had to sneeze.
Okay.
Because the
That was
the
what
the
I was like.
route that
Chop it up.
the route that Morgan usually takes into the dungeon, mind you, there's multiples, but the route that he usually takes in there has a door that seals from the inside, and the doorman seems to have taken a tumble and can't open it anymore. But he has a contact who owes him a favor that can, with no explanation of how, get you guys inside on the condition that you pay him back for the favor for a favor, of course, by finishing one of his contracts, which is to capture a live specimen of a polydactyl, which is a flying snake with four pairs of wings, feathery wings, which don't make sense. And he also mentioned that there are plenty of traps and all manner of insanity inside the dungeon, so to go prepared. Which you guys, in real life, then had a week to think about the gear that you were going to take. Well, at least one person did.
Hey, I've thought so much
Ricky
right
is the
now.
brains of this operation.
My list for Marge is super legit. What she would actually bring. So luckily, I'd put down
So,
a couple of things for Tyler last week.
well, that's good because before we go in or get any further, what I'd need you to do, and I have no way of verifying this, so we're just going to go on the honor system here, is actually write down the gear that you're packing and taking in. I've mentioned before I don't keep track of things until they become important.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
it's about to
We
become
can type it
actually
important.
into
was writing
Discord.
it down.
No, it doesn't need to be. I mean, put it in Discord, then that's fine. But otherwise, you can just make a note of it on your sheet.
I have a piece of paper, that I wrote some stuff on,
Okay.
if that's cool. Complete with grease stains from something.
Wait, what was complete with grease
Grease
stains?
grease stains on my piece of paper for some
Oh,
reason.
character sheets. I swear are magnets for grease stains. Even if you don't eat near the game,
Yeah.
they somehow get stained. Although, who am I kidding? I've never not eaten at a game.
Oh yeah, that's what you do. It's part of the thing.
It's like every time I see one of those things, like all you need to play Dungeons and Dragons is the player's handbook, some dice, and a few sheets of paper. And I always add and pizza. Like
And snacks.
you cannot skip on the snacks. It's
Our big like D&D snacks, of course, chips, but someone always brings like the large bag of Skittles, and then they end up all over the map usually,
nice.
like Skittles everywhere, and then wings is a big one too. Usually a wings in the oven.
Like I can't find it right now, but one of the pages in the official ABCs of D&D book is pizza.
hmm
Like it's canon.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're not, or physically, if not emotionally ready to use a certain someone's prep quote,
Let's enter the dungeon.
To the Doonjinn.
The dungeon. The donjon.
To the Don John. To the Don Johnson.
no, it's he is talking about an astral dreadnought, and
Astral
no, we're not
Dreadnoughts.
playing with
Okay.
an
Yeah,
astral
those are
dreadnought.
scary.
To the Doonjon.
The Doonjinns.
The dungeon. But before we get there, I'm assuming we're going to do a little bit of retconning at end of last session, and that Marge was in fact notified by either Ricky or Tyler um, that about the plan to head into the sewers and eventually the dungeon. Correct?
Yeah. And I'm going to assume that this is like one of those things where, oh, it's mid-afternoon. She's supposed to be picking up the kids, and she gets this phone call about, oh, we're going into a Doonjin, and there's traps, and we got to catch a flying snake. And she's like, oh, shit.
Well, to be fair, you don't have to go right away. At this point, it's probably closer to 4:30, 5 o'clock. Um, you don't have to go right away. All that Morgan said was that give him an hour before you head into the sewers so that he can make arrangements with his contact.
I'm picturing that Marge is kind of rushing and improvising how to deal with the situation, like, get the kids situated, but also prepare for going into a dungeon that has like traps and stuff. So she basically grabs Parker's the crab backpack and she shoves a bunch of stuff that's on hand into it that she thinks might have a purpose.
Okay.
And
Oh,
this
and
in, this includes marbles, chalk, uh, a home first aid kit, with like the little band-aids and the little
Oh
mini
yeah,
things,
that's a
and
good idea too.
At
I,
least
I
someone thought to
think
bring a first aid kit.
I think I thought of that
Play-Doh,
earlier and I didn't
Play-Doh,
write it
5
down.
Hot Wheels, some mouse jerky, a bed sheet, and 4 bran and cranberry muffins.
Oh, and before you leave the zoo, we did look this up. I don't know if it was on the recording last week or not, but for a standard snake to transport them, you would want them in a loose, opaque
In a bed
sack
sheet.
inside a container.
She
So
needs a
like
container.
you work at a zoo. They've got animal carrying.
Yeah, I'm
That's
thinking she's at
cumbersome.
home and she's not going by the zoo, so she's gonna grab Snuggy's dog crate,
Right, that'll work. Bed sheet and a dog crate. Okay.
bed sheet and a dog crate.
Make
She
do with what you got.
don't worry, she's a professional. You can
This is why we
lure the
asked her
flying
to
snake
come.
with Play-Doh and Hot Wheels.
And he also mentioned, oh, Morgan, I mean, that just to put you guys on edge, what the polydactyls like to do is fly up and wrap themselves around the pipes at the upper areas of the sewers in the dark, and they wait for a potential mark to move beneath them, at which point they unfurl their wings and glide nearly silently down for the strike.
Mhm.
Oh,
And I did pack a flashlight in my backpack.
Good.
So
That was going to be another question, is because it's really
because
dark
we
down
don't have
there,
dark vision.
oh,
and none
damn
of
it. Oh, in the last minute, Marge thinks to grab, because she's thinking about cobras. She doesn't know what kind of snake this flying snake is. So she grabs one of the kids' recorders, like a cheap plastic recorder, and a kazoo. Because you don't know what kind of music snakes like when they're flying snakes.
is anyone going to get a snake bite kit?
What?
I guess Marge brings along her vet bag. Let's just
Okay.
pretend there's stuff in the vet bag for snake bites. And probably
Let's
some more
pretend.
bandages, yeah. And of course the
If not,
ketamine refills.
we'll have to do the old-fashioned suck the poison out.
You know that doesn't actually work, right?
I know, but Ricky has watched a lot of movies, and it does in movies. So that's his idea.
Okay. Um, as I
But
mentioned last,
should I mention what I actually wrote down? Is that what you?
sure, if you want to
So that
roll
we
through it
don't
real
have
quick,
to.
it might spark other people from other people, one person might spark someone else getting and
Well, you already kind of mentioned all of them, but I just wanted to be on the level with what I brought or what I packed.
okay,
Flashlight, multi-tool, which is like the knife plus
right, like a
things.
Leatherman.
Yeah, like a
Gotcha.
Leatherman. Yeah, rope, matches, extra socks, granola bars, compass, and yeah, that should be good. With a backpack and a bedroll. We'll say bedroll because or sleeping
Uh,
bag.
did you have any rations or food?
Granola bars.
Sorry, I missed that the second time too. Because my
Granola
internet sucks.
bars.
Okay.
And of course energy powder, like that's
Oh, I would assume you would bring like at least 2 cases of it
yeah, there'll be some energy drinks happening.
in a Ziploc bag so they can stay dry. Okay. So as of right now, both Ricky and Tyler are at the, I'm assuming, stay at the apartment at the Defenders of the City HQ. Marge had gone home, so let's move Marge over there, back to her house, and I'm not going this evening, and then you're just basically spending the rest of the evening packing up gearing and getting your equipment ready. Would that be a safe assumption? Head
Sure.
off, head off in the morning.
Exactly.
Okay. So after a good night's sleep, which I'm not going to make you roll for, um, morning comes. Gather the backpack, the crab bag,
Oh,
the vet.
you put
Sorry.
that in salt marsh? Did you?
Oh, I did.
Oh, both of them are in salt marsh. Yep.
I forgot
10
that I
foot
was.
pole.
Oh, So what do we got in salt marsh here? Oh, there we go.
I did it in the other one now too.
Nice. Of course, my weapons are coming too. Like, I'm definitely not leaving.
Like all the normal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite
Normal
sure how
outfit,
we're
normal
carried.
superhero outfit is definite, and then the pack is the extra stuff.
I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
What's the best way to carry a large dog crate through a Doonjinns?
Maybe make Strikeout do it.
Sure, he won't mind.
he he's cool like that.
He is cool
He's,
like that.
it's great having interns. Okay. So morning comes. I suppose you guys didn't make a plan for how to start this, so
Oh,
Tyler and Ricky are at
um,
the HQ and Marge is at home. I guess.
well, we would have probably told her to meet us at a certain time. You know, whenever she could get out.
See, I also feel the need to point out that Marge still hasn't fixed her Defenders HQ badge.
Yeah, we'll meet her outside. It's cool.
Yeah, this is probably part of the reason why she grabbed stuff from home.
Morgan also mentioned last week, well, in this case, it was yesterday in game, that the location, the entrance to the sewers that he uses is not far from the, so it would be logical to meet up there, perhaps.
At the where? Sorry.
The affordable pizza parlor.
Oh, right. Yeah. We could take. It's probably best not to leave a car parked on the street because tickets and stuff like that. So maybe we take a lift.
We can
What is
call her
it again? A
dropped.
a dropped, yeah,
We can call our old
over to the
friend. Was it Dave?
Oh,
Vitaly.
with drop, yes, that was Dave.
Dave, yeah.
Yeah.
Got Dave on speed dial now.
Like, hey
He
Dave,
hates
gotta
you
pick up.
guys. He
We'll
hates you guys so much.
we'll tip him at
Yeah,
least 10%.
we will pay well. He'll learn to love us. Don't worry. And
Well,
then
we're steady
later,
work in this gig economy. Beggars
once we're
can't be choosers.
famous, he'll be like, I drove those guys around once, you know? He'll be telling all his friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Exactly.
Plays his
With
cards right.
fame comes friends.
One day he can be a hero too. He can be the cabbie,
Yeah, we could work him in.
the driver.
If he gets a superpower sometime.
He could be like Leadfoot or something. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming names here. Like I brainstormed my Doonjinns supply list.
Yeah. His superpower is I drive a car around town and I speed when I do it.
He has all of the like
Leadfoot.
vehicle handling skills on like super duper mode.
Yeah.
It's like no other skills. He's just like
He has zero skills other than driving.
all his points have been put into the vehicle handling.
He's secretly Jason Statham from the Transporter.
Yeah. And if there's some kind of like special skill in terms of having to do with parking, then he's got that. If that can be his mundane task, his mundane job,
Parking, yeah.
it's all parking.
And maybe some mechanical.
And
Car
maybe
mechanical.
directions. His skill in like navigating.
Cannot become lost in
This
the
is
city.
totally the best.
Oh yeah, he knows all the maps in the city.
This is the best superhero ever. We really need to like, It's like I'm starting to feel like the Defenders is a pyramid scheme.
Isn't this like London cab drivers have to take the
They
knowledge
do.
test,
That's an
and that's
insane test.
basically
I've actually
basically Dave.
I've seen the documentaries on what the cabbies in London have to go through, and that's crazy. They sit there and
Yeah.
put up these scenarios like you need to get from this place to this location, but there's construction here, and like you have to like to play. But
That's
anyway,
our Dave.
yeah,
That's
Dave,
Dave.
and
Yeah.
he has his magical superpower is that he never has to find or there's always one.
You know what? I hope he has a British accent now because of this.
Yes.
Well, he didn't
That's right,
previously, but
Bobo. He has a.
maybe we'll retcon Dave. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
He could be from the north. He could be from London. It doesn't matter. I'm fine either way.
Yeah. You can go with the mild British accent. All right, so we call Dave to pick us up at Defender HQ as Marge shows up, and we're headed to Affordable Pizza Parlor.
Yep, you have been dropped off at the Affordable Pizza Parlor. At this point,
Are they open?
what time? Ask what time in the morning are you planning on getting this whole
Oh, in the
thing
morning,
moving?
we gotta get a good easy. We gotta get an early start on this adventure
Yeah,
here.
but how many pizza
We're
parlors
going
are
deep in
open at
the
8
dungeon.
a.m.?
Yeah, but I think
That's what I'm more or less
Morgan like
getting at.
lives there,
Like
or in the alley at least.
early for me is not early for you.
They got breakfast pizza?
Ooh.
There's a pizzeria around here that does a breakfast pizza that is banging. They mix the eggs in with the cheese and then put diced ham on it. Well, you don't like eggs, but
Oh.
yeah,
But
it's
pizza's good for
really
every
freaking
meal.
good.
So
Let's just
I was
agree on this
thinking
point.
you could
And
do the eggs, bacon,
I can imagine
cheese
some
thing,
people
but
would
you could
like
also
eggs on their
do
pizza.
maybe like waffles and maple syrup
No,
Yeah.
okay, you lost it. No,
and cheese
Maple
I was with you up
bacon
until maple syrup.
and bacon.
No, no,
and
no.
tomatoes.
Yes,
You do
tomatoes.
like a full English pizza?
Oh no,
Full
that
English
I'm down.
pizza.
Oh,
We'll get a full
that's a
English
thing now.
pizza for
The
That is
English
a
Dave.
breakfast
thing
on a
now.
pizza.
Yes.
Full English on a pizza. That is a thing available
That.
at Affordable Pizza Parlor. They are now
Oh
open
fuck
for
yes.
breakfast.
Oh yes. So we're
You
ordering
have
one of those.
rewritten the
A
canon.
large.
We are
We've
coming up with a
ordered a
genius idea.
large English breakfast pizza
That idea needs to go
and
on Twitter too, so like Twitter can make it happen.
a black tea, of course, because you gotta have tea with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're going for a dungeon crawl, you might want to get a builder's. You know, go to extra fortification.
Mm-hmm.
So you head in. Affordable Pizza Parlor is open. Get a full English pizza. Now here's another question. Natural cheese, Marge would be able to have, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Which doesn't matter because you have your medallion right now anyway. So I'm assuming you're still wearing it.
Your Funk
I
Juicy medallion.
thought she took her DJ Funk Juicy medallion off and got like really sick and at some point and didn't put it back on because she went back to the hospital.
She
I mean,
might have.
I guess she could put it back on for the purposes of going to a Doonjinns. But she hasn't been wearing
That
it to
would
the
be
zoo
smart.
and stuff.
Yeah. That would be
Well,
smart.
as far as Marge has discerned the abilities of the medallion is that it suppresses allergic reactions um, for the duration you're wearing it. But if you remove it while the reaction would still be taking place, like if you are uh, normally would have, let's say, intestinal distress for 8 hours after ingesting some. I'm just throwing arbitrary numbers here, not saying that's the actual mechanic, but if you would have been sick for 8 hours and you wear it for 6, you take it off, you'll still have those 2 hours remaining unless you put it back on. You take it off after the 8 hours, you're fine.
I think she's gonna
So
still
it
try
just
to like
suppresses it.
navigate. She's not wearing it. She has it on standby in case, so she can like put it on. But she's gonna try to just act like normal.
Okay, but it is
So
available.
the annoying questions about like, is this whole milk mozzarella? Blah blah blah. Where are the cows free ranged? Grass fed, nuclear waste fed.
As as far as the waitress is available to inform you, it's food, like it's real food. It's not She doesn't know if they're, organic, free range chickens and cows and pigs that made the sausage, or, if we're wild grown. She she works at affordable pizza parlor. She's like, I don't know.
Okay. Marge will be one
It's
of
real
those
food.
weirdos who gets like a cheeseless pizza and it'll be like a tomato pizza with red sauce with no cheese.
So basically, a cheeseless margarita.
Yeah. And this is also putting in mind that being in the city, the affordable pizza parlor probably does have an apocalyptic cow pizza that is their cheese pizza.
Just from personal experience, you think it would be rather difficult for Apocalypse Cow's napalm milk to be made into the cheese, based on the fact that it dissolves and burns through stuff that
Well,
it touches.
it's not literally apocalyptic cow cheese. It's just named in honor of Apocalypse Cow. So it's like a cheese pizza with like ghost peppers or something, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. So you have your breakfast pizza. Meanwhile, Morgan is there, just at the other side of the bar, just hanging out doing his thing, which is be an NPC.
With a golden arrow above his head.
He's got a, depending on your filter, he's got a chalice or an exclamation point or the arrow. Yeah, exactly. Just basically waiting for you to give him the word to
So,
call his
yeah,
contact.
I take a slice of the English breakfast pizza over to Morgan, and I sit down next to him. And so we have returned. It's time to hit the Doonjinn.
And kind of glances at you, eyeing you up and down, trying to make sure to see if you're making fun of his accent,
I'm not.
and then
It's just the name
flips
of it,
open
right?
flips open the phone and makes a couple taps. It's almost like the message had been prepared and was ready and waiting. Puts it back in his pocket and says, "Right then, contact will meet you down in the door. You got the map from yesterday, right?
Of course.
All right, off with you then. Remember, come back with one of them polydactyls alive."
Perfect. Did you want a slice of this pizza?
Kind of shrugs and said, like, "Yeah, I'll eat it." You might want to get
Okay.
heading off now.
Thank you.
Don't want to keep the contact waiting.
Yeah, we'll be back with all the quests accomplished.
Looks at you a little funny, kind of like, "Okay, yeah, quests. Uh huh, sure."
And yeah, I'll go back to our table.
And from the map that had been crudely drawn, if you recall, it was in a felt pen on a napkin yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's a little bled through and blurry. Um, Suggests that there's a manhole cover about a block and a half away, um, which you can use to access the sewers. And then there's some crude directions, which you assume are tunnels leading towards the door that this Rodney fellow is supposed to be working.
So
Could I get
yeah,
stopped out there?
no. Um, once we're done our pizza, I guess we head that way.
Wait, were we gonna take a slice out to Dave before we like paid him and said, "Yo," just to make friends?
Oh,
Oh
Dave
yeah,
left a
like
while ago. He dropped.
Oh, he
Dave
like
That was
dropped us and
did he
left.
like leave skid marks in his hurry to get away?
no. He's better than that
It
because
is a
skid
review
marks
based
reduce the
business.
and skid marks reduce the structural integrity of the tire, which then makes it a threat later on when you need extreme control.
Right. Because he's now Jason Statham.
Yeah, unnecessary skid marks, bad for your underwear, bad for your tires.
Exactly. Okay. So the map is not bad to read though, right? Is there a landmark that
Does
tells us exactly where the
the map
manhole
have
is,
the
or is it?
traps labeled?
It's just a map to get to the manhole, I
You
think.
remember this is one of those dungeons? They told you last week that this is one of those dungeons. I'm cracking
Well,
myself up. I'm sorry.
right now you're just getting into the regular sewer system under the city,
Okay.
leading towards the door, which leads to the
Are,
dungeon.
these aren't like magic sewers, are they?
No, they're sewers.
Okay.
They're sewer system.
There's magical things in them though.
So you after you, I'm assuming you pack up your leftovers, stick them in your backpack so you have pizza to munch on.
Yeah,
Uh,
like
the full the
pizza wrapped in napkins.
the full English is a complete mess to pack up because the beans get everywhere, and so it
And
just
the
turns out
marmalade.
yeah, it just turns into a mush, but whatever. Um, you can subsist on it. And you go around the corner. There's about a block. Then you make a left. You go about another down another block, and then make a right. And there's an alley with a dumpster. And behind the dumpster, just as described, is a manhole cover.
Oh, cool. Is is there lots of people around, or can we just slip in there nice and?
Nah, you're in industrial part of town. That's not exactly highly populated on the streets during the day, and that's one of the reasons why Morgan likes this particular location to get in and out of the sewers. And it's not far from his favorite location.
All right. Can we use Tyler's 10-foot pole to pry the the manhole cover off?
If you wanted to, or you could just reach down and go reach into the finger holes and lift.
That would be really funny if like we needed to get through a manhole cover to get to the actual
Yeah.
task,
Doors, you know.
and none of us knew how to open a manhole cover. We'll be like, we'll just wait
Yeah.
here until some city construction guy shows up and
call the city public works.
yeah, call the sewer public works,
Hello, we
whatever.
need to get in here now.
Well, these are manhole covers are relatively heavy though.
They are,
So
yeah.
But
whomever
Tyler
would
is strong.
Oh,
He
yeah,
puts
Tyler.
down the dog crate. Oh wait, is the dog crate gonna fit in the manhole cover? I don't think it is.
if you
How big is your
rotate it,
dog?
It's a pit bull. It's a large
Oh,
dog crate.
well, yeah, but they usually come apart in half, right? Dog
Yeah,
crates.
that's true. We can unscrew
Yeah, we
it
can
and take it
unscrew it
into its component parts.
and then put it back together
There's
down below.
probably a little bit of finagling to get it into the hole, though.
not once it's in half. I wouldn't think. Once you break it down, it'll go in.
We'll pretend it's not too wide.
Yeah, I think Tyler is definitely the one to lift this manhole.
Put it in vertically and slide it in. All right. So you said Ricky was going to be the one to try to open or lift up the
No,
Tyler.
manhole.
Tyler.
Tyler.
He's a sports ball
Okay,
guy. He can lift
And he
things.
carries around bowling balls all the time.
that's true. Does Tyler have athletics?
He does.
All right. I will need a strong plus athletics roll from Tyler.
I rolled all twos, so it's a
Oh,
6.
doors. Doors.
Oof. Um. Yeah. It's kind of difficult to get a grip on it. You
Do you
reach down.
need assistance, Tyler?
Well, normally I would have this. I don't know what my
Oh, I
problem
know.
is
It's
today.
early
Maybe it's because
though.
I'm trying to like lift it with one hand while I have like the dog crate in the other hand.
Maybe you're going into a food coma after we had that giant pizza.
That doesn't
This
seem
was
possible, man.
no such thing as too much pizza, man.
Food gives you strength. Have
Exactly.
you heard of that guy named Popeye?
Oh yeah, but he doesn't eat English breakfast pizzas. He eats spinach.
Oh, well, maybe they have spinach pizza and we get spinach pizza, and I could totally lift this manhole cover.
Oh right.
If you would like to try again, this time maybe lifting with your legs instead of your one arm,
Should I
and
help?
using both arms.
Can I help and give advantage or
And if
add my
necessary, this
score
time I
or
will use a
something?
style point.
Well, you don't have to declare the style point now. You can decide to do it after you roll. But you may roll again, this time bolstered with constructive criticism from your friend Ricky, which
And
does nothing mechanically.
Tyler did much better this time. He did a what are these numbers? 14.
14, more than enough. You can put the crate down, reach
Ricky
down.
just gets down and screams in his face like a army sergeant.
Yeah, like or like he's a football coach.
Come on, lift it!
And this time like and like Tyler even like he shakes his tail feathers a little bit to like really put that extra little oomph into it.
Yeah, you got to activate the glutes.
Yeah.
Squatting.
You need to activate your tight pants.
Yeah, activate your core.
I was already wearing tight pants. I just did not activate them. So, yeah, okay. Reach down, put both hands into it, shake your tail feathers, get your core going, bust out, push with the legs, and you lift up the manhole cover and scrape it across the concrete. The hole is now open. You may now enter.
We enter the sewers.
Okay.
And there's silence.
Radio silence.
That was a pause for
Is
like
there
the theme music of
convenient
triumph.
ladder?
No, that was because I was trying to find a gif of tight pants body rolls to put into Discord.
Oh,
Oh.
Because you had to activate your tight pants. All right. So down into the sewers you go. It is outside of a very small cone of light coming in from the manhole cover. It is pitch black. There's a sound of
I turn
rushing
on my
water.
flashlight.
All right. Click ding. You see, unlike the sewers in DDO, which were created by giants, these are human-sized sewers that are roughly 6 to 7 feet concrete not spheres, cylinders in segments. Uh, there's a central part where well, sewage flows. There are two very small walkways that are elevated slightly up above the sewage level on the left and right hand sides, about a foot to a foot and a half wide. Um, it's extremely claustrophobic because of the size of the cylinder and your guys' height. You basically kind of, if you want to be on the walkway, you kind of have to hunch over a little bit so you're not scraping your head and shoulder against the moist walls and roof. And from where you are right
It's
now,
moist.
it's moist. And it oozes almost with anticipation.
Endless Ninja Turtle gifts now. I mean, did anyone play the Ninja Turtles RPG when they were younger?
Oh god, that one was from Palladium. That one was
Yeah.
terrible. So many
Did you have to name
physical
your
beauty
character
was an
after an
actual
artist?
stat. Like
No. Um,
no, it was
I
one of
don't
those
remember
games
how
which
I play.
had like
Was it percentage die rolls mainly? I think, if I
Yeah, but it
remember
was
the mechanical part of it.
unnecessarily complicated. Like, trying to calculate your attack roll was like filling out tax forms. Like,
Yeah,
it was rough. Anyway, that was going back in the day. Um,
yeah.
anyway, so from where you stand, the tunnel goes. Uh, we're going to keep it simple on cardinal directions, just to make, even though cities are rarely ever built on. You drop down to the bottom of the manhole or onto the walkway, and it continues north and south.
Did did he give us an idea of a direction we should go, or are we just winging this shit?
Was the map only of the Doonjinns? It wasn't on how to get to the Doonjinns through the sewers? Is that what you're telling us?
Oh, what he told you last time is you can't map the dungeon because every time you go
Right.
into it
Oh, it's
changes.
procedurally generated.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Well, Mars doesn't know
conscious
this,
almost.
but
But Tyler wrote it down in his notes.
But as you
I
look at the
would
map,
like
first off, you notice
Ricky
that
would
you're
like to use some sort of insight to decide which way we go first.
would like to go first. What?
Which way we go first? He's gonna like pretend he has some sort of insight. Should I roll something?
He's going to smell the wind of the
Uh,
sewers.
Yeah.
you know what? Just go ahead and give me a smart plus hero roll. And unless you
Smart
can
and
come up
hero.
with unless you got some skill you can come up with to.
Could Tyler listen with his enhanced sense of hearing for sounds of a Doonjinns?
I'm not even going to make you roll for that. You hear flowing sewage from every direction.
I rolled a 6.
We are the Doonjinns.
Um, as you look at the map, you realize that the one thing Morgan forgot to give you is an orientation for your map. The other thing you notice,
I have a
uh,
compass, so
yeah, but he didn't tell you which way north was on the napkin, so the compass ain't really going to help much.
no, the compass tells you where north is.
Yeah, it does. But
And there's no dot for our location.
there is no IDO locator on the
Like if we
napkin.
we
No.
walk down the sewer, there's no dot that moves on our
Yeah,
napkin.
yeah, this is gonna be tough.
This
But
isn't
I've
how
played
maps
games
work.
like this before.
Shota, I've never seen a map like this before.
Well, I mean, it's procedurally generated, so really, there's nothing we can do about mapping. We
But
just got to pick a direction
you have like your
and
smaller
hope it
map,
goes
and the
in the right
smaller map is
direction.
supposed to tell us where we are in relation to like the bigger
Well,
map.
the sewers themselves are not procedurally generated. Once you get to the
Well, that's just what Ricky believes.
Marge is like,
oh,
go
this is what he
south.
says.
It's
Okay.
always to the south, Marge says, with great confidence. She totally believes what she's saying.
You know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna go with Marge this time.
The other thing you notice
South.
as you're looking at the map is that it's drawn on a napkin, and
Yeah, but the map is just to the sewer, right? Isn't that
it's
what we
not to
discussed?
the sewers. No, it's not just to the sewer. He told you how to get to the sewers.
Oh, okay.
The map is once you're in the sewers, from the entrance or from the manhole cover to the door that Rodney's at.
Okay, well,
At
here's the
which
thing.
point,
If we use the map, perhaps we can make some sort of smart roll later to notice some sort of bend or turn that orients the map to us. Is that reasonable?
now that
Yeah,
you
like
could
if we go
do.
one direction, eventually we should run into like something that's on the map, and if we don't, we can just turn around and go the opposite way.
Yeah. So let's do that.
Give I will give Shota a style point for that.
Oh,
That bit of insight. On the other hand, which may make that style point a little less fun, is you notice that your map is written on a napkin.
yeah.
As you're aware, The job of a napkin, particularly a paper one, to absorb liquid and other things.
So
Um,
we got to keep it. We got to keep it dry.
yeah, which
You should put
Are,
it
the
in your
are you
shirt,
saying it's
ambient.
man.
already ruined?
I'm saying you're noticing that it's already seeming to absorb driplets and drops from the ambient humidity just from being this far into it, and yeah, you might want to.
It's a limp. It's limp.
Can I quickly take a picture of it with my phone?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
I'll take a picture of it with my phone.
Sure, yeah, that'll do.
We should. You should totally did that last night, dude.
This map, this map is getting ruined right now by this humidity and my hair.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if you guys have that problem up in Yellowknife, but where Bonnie is, I'm sure you guys have the swamp humidity that we have up here, and you hold a piece of paper outside, and it just starts
Oh,
going limp and disintegrating in your
oh,
hand.
I've felt it. Like Southern Ontario is in between all the Great Lakes, and in the summer when the humidity rises, the humidex as they call it, it'll be like 42 with humidex, and that's when you're like you walk outside and just instantly sweat as soon as you touch the air.
Yep, your papers are disintegrating. You open a bag of
Everything,
chips, and
yeah,
they go
everything is
stale
just
by the time
fucked. Yeah,
they're stale by the time you open the bag and your chip. You reach the chip, and it's already stale. Like, oh, come on.
yeah, yeah. I know humidity.
Yeah,
Not
humidity
here in
down here.
Yellowknife. Yellowknife is not humid, but
But the other terrible thing about this is I actually need, and I should have done this first. I actually need everybody to give me a tough plus hero roll. Marge
tough and
actually,
hero.
Marge gets something extra. She gets to add soccer mom.
Okay, I'm gonna use a style point that I just got. Although I've gotten 2 style points because of DDO during DDO, so I'm
What? You got stall points during DDO.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
I forget
offline
what.
style
Who did
points.
you pass name loot to? Need I guess?
No, it wasn't past name loot, but
No, it was jokes. It was jokes.
and it
I
was
don't.
about it was about superheroes too.
Oh, okay,
It
okay.
was.
It was superheroes related.
Well, Tyler rolled
Okay,
an 11.
All right,
What,
Tyler's
Marge should
fine.
do soccer mom too?
Yep, tough soccer mom and hero.
I got 9.
All right,
9.
Ricky's fine.
Marge also got an 11.
Okay, everyone's fine. That was basically once you got down here and deep, solid first lungful of point blank, unfiltered raw sewage right on a full stomach.
Oh, yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, you kind of sit there and, oh, okay, full English pizza might not have been a good idea. Luckily, Marge, with both veterinarian and being a soccer mom, is no stranger to
She
horrifying scents.
she loves the smell of shit in the morning. What are you talking about?
Like, the whole,
It's like napalm.
yeah, the sippy cup in the back of the car with the milk in it for like 3 months, and then you got to clean it
Yeah.
out. Actually, I'll be honest. If this is just me, I got the cheap sippy cup, so when that happened and it started turning colors, I just threw that thing away. I was like, I'm not even opening. There's no way in hell I'm opening that.
Yep. New cup.
New cup time. So you decided that you were going to head south, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. So you start heading south for about, let's say, 60, 70 feet. Now, bear in mind, it seems a lot more ominous than it would normally, a 60-foot walk in the dark here. Because the problem is, you guys have flashlights that only go about 30, 40 feet in front of you. And once you leave the little light from the manhole, um, it's really hard to see where you're going because of this oppressive darkness. You can shine it along the walls. The walls are reflective, but the problem with having wet, reflective walls is it kind of makes your vision seem like the light isn't penetrating as far because you have light bouncing back at you. If they had been dry walls, it wouldn't have been a thing. But no, it's humid. It's borderline foggy of filth, and it's gross. You get about 60 feet going south, and there's a T junction.
Oh,
Which way is
Going
south?
so
east.
if we went south, then that would make west or east.
What does our napkin say?
Oh yeah, can we check the napkin?
Napkin?
Uh, you pull the napkin out. Well, napkin actually as you're walking. Are you holding it in your hand? Is it in a
No,
pocket?
we're keeping it safe because we noticed it was humid. Humid.
So are you checking your phone or checking the napkin?
Yeah, check your phone
Well, I
napkin.
guess I could check the phone. Yeah, I could check the phone. That's right.
Okay. You look at Morgan's notes, and as you from where he drew a circle, there's a line that connects again with no direction as to where it goes, and then the line turns to the right. It doesn't say if it's a T junction or that it's not a T junction. It just goes
Oh,
straight and then right.
We'll turn to the right, but I think Tyler's going to pull out his chalk and start marking the walls
ooh,
with the chalk to
good,
be like, we turned
good
here.
work.
Does chalk write on wet concrete?
It does.
You could try it. Like if
Now,
you
if there's
rubbed your
running water,
hand.
it'll wash it away, but you can totally write with chalk on wet stuff. It just isn't as groovy as when it's dry stuff.
Okay. So you make a mark on the wall, right?
Yes.
Yes, and we'll go right here.
Okay. So you turn right. All right.
And do that.
And no, it's sewers.
Sewers, you're right.
See, when I tell you there's a 100-foot hallway with nothing in it and an unlocked door at the other end, and it takes 30 minutes to cross the empty hallway.
Yeah.
But that was a really scary place.
Oh, and it hadn't even gotten to the scary parts yet.
We totally expected there to be a boogie monster that jumped out from like the white pristine hallway.
And instead, Emily showed up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Now the question is that worse?
Well, we learned yes, it is worse.
The
Okay.
worst.
You take a right. You continue on through the stench-filled tunnels with your flashlights wobbling in the darkness, and find yourself at yet another T-junction. It's almost like in a grid.
What way does the mapkin say to turn now?
Uh, well, what the napkin says, basically, I will send you an image.
Sending me?
I'll be putting this in Discord momentarily, and then throw it on the whiteboard. Just pretend this is written in bleeding felt pen on a napkin. Oh, I have to rotate it to get the orientation right. Here we go. Just a second. Sorry, I should have gotten this. Pretend there's a Discord, or not Discord, a Jeopardy music going on.
do do do.
This is the extent of the detailed directions that you were given by Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, okay. So yeah, we should totally go left.
Whoa, no, the circle's the sewer, I think. So right.
No, like we went right already. And now
Oh,
we hit another
left.
T junction, so let's go left.
Yeah.
And Tyler marks the sewer.
Okay. So you made a right, and then you have made a left. Not 4. Stupid hand. All right. You proceed again another 60 feet or so, and once again find another T junction.
We make a left.
Okay.
And mark our way so we can trace our steps back or something.
Proceed another 60 feet. Shockingly enough, there's another T junction.
Turn right.
Yes, and then we should we walk until
We
we
should
find
arrive
an
at
X.
snakes.
Do we find an X? Yeah, there's just some ex-boyfriend laying and floating down in the sewer in the filth, face down. A suspicious piece of rebar sticking out of his ribs.
Tyler Chen encounters Sonny Stellarson. Runs away from the adventure in fear.
Now, I would like everyone to make a smart plus perception roll for me.
Six.
I'm having to look this up every time. Okay, so Tyler is a 12.
12, okay.
Mars is like 8 and 6 and Marge is a 15.
All right. Well, both Tyler and Marge realize that as you're starting to shine your flashlights further down the tunnel, it, this one isn't straight. This one's curving a little bit, and a little bit more to the point where you can't see in a straight line to where it would be ending, or if there's anything else. It just curves off into the darkness.
Well, the line on the napkin isn't curvy.
Yeah, what the fuck?
We maybe we went the wrong. Maybe south wasn't right. And Mars is like, we should have gone south.
We did go south.
We shouldn't have. We should have. Why did we go south?
Because you're the smart one, Marge. Because you're the smart one. Okay, so we have to retrace our steps, which means
Let's go another 60 feet just to see if we run into like a door.
Go just a little bit
we can't
further.
see
Let's go a little bit further.
ahead. And if we don't run into anything, we'll turn around and go the other way.
You carry on for another 60 feet. The tunnel starts to straighten back out again, and then there's a strange glimmer which you haven't seen reflected back at you, which appears to be, instead of darkness, um, a solid object.
What is
Ooh,
it?
shiny.
Bit far from here to tell what it is. It's just at this point, all you're really seeing is instead of the infinite continuing black void of ongoing tunnel, there's not black void.
Slightly less infinite.
Exactly. There's a definite end. Are you going to continue to approach this point?
Sure. I mean, what's it going to be? It's not going to be like a sewer of annihilation or something down the end of the hall.
Yeah,
Right.
let's just keep going.
Okay. You carry on through the darkness to what appears to be, well, not what appears to be, as you approach it, is confirmed to be um, a large, heavy iron, well, maybe not iron, but heavy metal door with hundreds of rivets around it. There is a sliding panel in the center, a of all things to see, a security camera up in the corner, and
Oh, this looks promising.
a small
I
panel.
forgot the password. Did we know a password?
He didn't give you a password.
I just
He
wrote
didn't give us
down
a
that there's
password.
I just wrote down that Rodney's the doorman.
Yeah,
Rodney, well, there's a panel on to the left hand side.
like a number
Uh,
panel.
no, like a old school.
Oh,
Like
intercom. You
a
mean?
game show panel like Charles Nelson Riley and Brett Summers are like seated.
Think more like a Fallout computer panel.
Okay.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, curved, old school CRT curved screen. One that you expect to turn on, it looks like it's going to be either green and black or orange and black. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a big old, Bakelite casing around it to keep moisture out, and this one of those basic old school computer keyboards with the keys that you have to push like a quarter of an inch, and they go ka-thunk when you do, with a rubberized mat that goes over it again to keep moisture out,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
and a
The
very clearly
password is
labeled,
always swordfish.
a very clear on button.
Oh, okay. So, first I'll knock on the door, like pound on it. Boom, boom.
The sound deafeningly down the halls. Um, you're pretty sure anything within about 100 to 200 foot radius of these tunnels just heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
should try 2 long knocks and 2 short knocks.
Hopefully those things will open the door. You said there's like a slat in it, like a sliding slatty
Uh,
thing.
the kind that you would see, like, a rectangular slide slat, where on the other
Yeah,
side of the door they can slide it open, but
but not on my side, obviously.
not on our side, or your side, our side, like I'm playing there.
Yeah.
Tyler is like Candygram.
But you're not in a shark costume, so it doesn't work.
So nobody answered the door, obviously.
Oh, I should have brought the
No.
shark costume.
Okay. Who wants to try out the computer?
Oh,
Well,
where's
it's
Bert? Where did we leave Bert? We left him at Imprel, didn't we?
no, he's back. Well, as far as you know, he left the planetarium. Well, no, you guys did spend the night at Defenders. He's back at the apartment in Defenders HQ, locked in his room, dealing with presumably whatever bullshit called him away from the planetarium. Which Tyler believes is that either he or Kink Twink is pregnant.
Oh no.
Well, that was according to your canon from last week. I didn't make it up. You did.
Oh, did I?
You said you
I
did
was
as you ran out of
complaining
the
though.
room. You
I was
said she's
complaining
probably
about
pregnant.
that and how like, oh yeah, I made what's Madoodle pregnant through the drow ritual thing, and that
That
was
Wilhelm was
probably,
impregnating everything. Mm-hmm.
taking away some player autonomy, but like the whole thing was based on player not having autonomy for this scenario and everyone agreed to it, so it wasn't really a bad thing. But oh my god, I hope Bert's not pregnant. And we haven't gotten those endorsements yet, so child support's going to be a bitch.
Yeah. So
So
looking over,
there's no doorknob, there's just iron rivets and stuff.
well, and the computer panel.
What does the computer panel look like again?
I will find an image for you. Actually, I should have done that a second ago, but
Of course, we've always done so well with like the computer panels at Inparl, so
think if you will, shamelessly ripping, putting it in the center. Think if you will, something like that, basically coming out of the wall to the left-hand side of the door.
there's no like orbs or anything where we can like control it with our minds.
No, no, it's just the old school panel.
Is is there a cursor like blinking?
No, but there is a very clearly labeled on button.
Oh, well, Tyler totally pressed the on button.
Okay. Well, actually, it's I lie a little bit. It's not an on button. It's a big black Bakelite rocker switch with a 1 and a 0 on it, which is an on button or a power switch of some kind. So you thunk, click it up,
Well,
and
it's one that.
hear this beast of a machine whirring up. Sounds like it's gonna, and the screen flickers. There it is, a what you would expected was going to be a black screen with a flickering cursor, but is actually a rudiment green and black, highly pixelated image um, of what appears to be the other side of the door, in which there is a stool, a metal stool, heavily rusted, a big round button that says open on it, and on the floor is what you would assume to be Rodney, as Morgan said that Rodney had taken it, and that's why he couldn't get it through the door anymore. At the bottom of the screen is a place to enter text and a blinking cursor.
I cut out somewhere about when you're talking about Rodney.
Oh, I'm sorry. On button, or not the on button, the
Rodney's
open
on the
button.
floor, but something something, and that's why he couldn't something something.
Right, Rodney is on the floor, and if you recall from yesterday, Morgan had mentioned that Rodney had air quotes taken a tumble, and that was why he was no longer able to push the open button apparently and open the door and let everyone in through this entrance.
He's just still there on the floor, or is he dead?
Um, he's not moving, but no, he does not appear to be moving or responsive in any way, shape, or form.
Well,
Who
eh,
who is at the terminal?
Tyler was flicking it.
Tyler's at the terminal. Okay, which means Ricky and Marge. I need both of you to make perception checks. Actually, Tyler has enhanced hearing, so he can make one as well.
Marge is just a 7.
Okay.
Tyler is a 10.
Okay. What about Ricky? Did we lose Vaughn?
Well, he's like, Shouta's still in Discord, but he's not saying anything.
Let me give him a... Oh, I'm here. He types.
Yeah, his
Okay.
or like pop out, pop back in, and see if it fixes the sound.
How about now?
Now I can hear you.
Yay!
Oh yeah, because I was like talking. You're like, "Can I? I can't hear you." And I'm like, "I can. I'm right here." Screaming into the void. 6.
6. Okay. Well, and it was Tyler who got the 12, right?
He got a
No,
10.
you got a 10. Okay. So you hear with your enhanced hearing while everyone else is basically kind of Scooby Doo style looking over your shoulder at the monitor. Um, a faint chuckle behind you.
Is Elephantum with us?
Fuck that guy. It better not be.
I don't know if he knows how to open up doors. That's a good thing.
So Rodney's on the ground,
Yep, Rodney took a tumble.
injured, but still alive.
Doesn't Elephantum know how to
And
bamf?
I turn quickly with my flashlight to see what's laughing at us or chuckling.
And about 3 feet behind you, actually no, he knows you. Make it 6 feet behind you. Um, just outside of sword range, um, there is the familiar 7'10" form of Elephantum in a nice
The fuck?
three-piece suit, floating several inches above the walkway, so as not to mess up his immaculate toenails, if you will, elephantine toenails. Um, and yes, there is Elephantum chuckling a little bit, and he says to him, almost to himself, he goes, "Well, isn't this delightful? I was cashing in of a
Why
favor.
the fuck are you following us down here now?
I'm Morgan's contact. He owed, I owed him a favor. He called it
Is
in.
your middle name Rodney?
No,
Rodney's on the other side of the door.
Oh, okay.
and he kind of in a it's weird to see the elephant grin because you don't see it in the middle. It's only on the sides of his mouth because there's a trunk in the way. But he kind of gestures for you guys to move to the side a little bit and says, "Excuse me," one floats over to the door and whoom straight through it. And a moment later, there's a loud ka-chunk and the door slides open. As it appears, Elephantum has floated through and door button.
I suppose you want us to thank you.
Would be nice. After though, I already got.
Ricky
I get,
remains noticeably quiet.
Is Rodney dead?
well, in a manner of speaking. And he kind of reaches over and gently picks Rodney up and sets him back on the stool. And you notice as he does so that
It was probably the Demogorgon.
no, Rodney's limbs aren't really moving with gravity. It's almost as though Rick taken over. But his eyes blink and his hand moves, or the fingers on his hand move. And he kind of gently positions him on the stool with his hand over the open door button and turns his head so he can see the
Is
panel
Rodney a
on.
puppet or something? An automaton?
More of a zombie, if you will.
A Doonjinns opening device.
I see you met Morgan. But yes, he's more of a zombie, if you will. He's our security system.
Tyler will offer the Elephantum a slice of full English pizza for as payment for opening the door. Because elephants
And,
like beans, right?
Ricky slaps it out of his hand into the sewer.
What? Dude, he's
well,
being
Ricky
really
actually,
slaps it out
helpful.
of Tyler's hand into the sewage.
well, the sewage actually has stopped several feet before the
Oh,
door.
damn
Like
it.
it
5 second rule.
but the floor is definitely with the moist
Rough.
sewer goo. Like you would definitely not want
There's
to eat anything off
there's
of
been
this.
tracking.
And
2 second rule.
also been tracking. And in addition, now there's of the full English pizza. Having it been in a uh, pizza box, shuffling around with your transit, it's not this. Let's put it this way: the slice no longer has structural integrity.
The
It,
slice ain't nice, huh?
it's more of a wet mess.
Yeah, I was just saving his life.
Kind of like the shinies.
A wet mess. Yeah, that's. Hey, that might be our salt.
A motto, the wet
Uh,
mess.
not the motto.
New
Our
team name.
team name on Saltmarsh. The
Oh,
wet
wet
mess.
mess, moist mess.
Moist mess. Oh, that's so much worse.
Is it wrong that I didn't make my
The
D&D crew make a team name? This seems like a thing, but I didn't do it.
No.
Okay.
the moist disaster. There, I think that might.
I kind of like casual disasters too.
Anyway, getting back on. Yes, you smack the what was once a slice of the full English pizza into the sewers, um, or onto the sewer floor. But you have now
And I
found.
like when I do it, I look at Tyler like with a "I'm sorry" face, but and then I glare back at the elephantum
Takes his
afterwards.
takes his bowler hat off with his trunk, makes a slight bow, puts it back on, and says, "Have fun, don't die," and
We
flickers out of visibility.
We don't need your help
Marge is
anyways.
like, we will. I mean, we won't.
We don't need your help at all.
And now you are in. Oh, and as the elephantum, well, you assume he leaves. It's difficult to tell with him. The door chunk chunk slams shut, and then you would assume hydraulic locking system kicks into place.
The doors always
Elephantum's.
slam shut with hydraulic locking systems. What is it with doors?
I just say that. I say elephantum. Say what?
I'm gonna laugh if Tyler says what.
What?
Just checking.
So that was really weird.
So you are now.
That guy's like everywhere, but not
Yeah,
there because you usually can't see him.
yeah. He's starting to piss me off.
Is he your nemesis?
I don't. I wouldn't say that.
All right.
But one day I
You'll
will defeat him.
like the butt cracking.
Exactly.
So you have made your way from the sewers to taking nuclear particle accelerator research laboratory off for a little bit. Actually, you know what? No, leave that on. We'll take Marge's. We'll take the zoo off, or the planetarium. Taco Burger Palace. We haven't been there in a while. Talk about indecisive. And I made a special one of these just for Bonnie. on the whiteboard there, down at the bottom center.
The Doonjinns! Is that a crafting
Oh,
station? Is there crafting? Is there a crafting system for the Doonjin?
um,
Oh,
no,
do we get to craft stuff out of mushrooms?
that's not a crafting station. No.
Oh, damn it. I was going to start collecting poop and stuff.
Yeah, collectibles.
Collectibles! I love
Let's
me
make
some
that bigger
collectibles.
so you can see.
Wait, is that a
Yeah.
flying snake? What is that?
Oh,
Those are some candles on in the wreckage, or in some random wreckage with a
and some
bunch of
intestines.
slimy tentacles.
Oh, tentacles.
Oh, it's a tentacle dungeon. A tentacle Doonjin.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Black technically warned you guys about that.
Well, I knew there's supposed to be tarps. There's tarps everywhere.
Tarps.
Sharps.
There's tarps everywhere. That's if we're going the right way. We don't know if we're going the right
Well,
way.
we'll know we're going the right way by the tarps. This is why I brought the 10-foot pole.
I'm a tarper.
I'm the tarper. Tyler's the tarper in the party.
Oh God, that's good. That's going to go well. So you have now
He
officially
has absolutely
entered.
no skills whatsoever in this area.
You've now officially entered the dungeon, and while there is a little bit of light on this side from the well, a little bare light bulb that's basically illuminating Rodney and his stool and his button. You notice while there is a screen on this side which shows the footage from the security camera on the other side, there's no keyboard. There is literally just one button that says open door. That's it. And Rodney's hand is poised right over it, and his eyes, well, his eyes to the side at you, but they're pointed directly at the screen. It's almost like he's a zombie with rigor mortis or
Tyler
something.
leans over to Shota and he's like, maybe Rodney wants some pizza.
Rodney? Rodney is the undead. We should
Dunjini
not be
doesn't
giving
like a
away
full
food.
English. I mean, so are most British people, but like they like full English too.
Oh.
Zing! Okay, give him a piece. You win there.
So,
I'm sorry.
not to. I would like for you to describe to me how you attempt to feed an mostly immobile zombie a slice of soggy, drooping pizza covered in
I could
baked
help
beans
by like
and
massaging his jaw.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'll massage his jaw up and down to
Put
chew
the
it.
pizza up to his mouth and like massage his jaw, and then just see if he likes it.
as you're bringing the pizza to his mouth, you see his eyes get wide, and you start hearing this.
Rodney.
One grunt for yes, two grunts for no. No. I think he doesn't understand the system. I think. Yeah, see, he just said yes. I don't.
You say no.
He just said yes. I don't understand.
Okay, just keep feeding the pizza.
You like pizza, right, Rodney? Oh, I don't think he likes pizza. Either that or he's like super excited and said yes twice.
Marge, at this point, being a of the motherly sort, can see that these are the wide eyes of panic, not the wide eyes of ooh pizza.
Tyler, it sounded like Chris to Tyler that, oh, maybe Rodney doesn't know how to poop. He doesn't eat food.
Oh, well, maybe he eats. Zombies love brains. Pizza's
We
The
don't
next
we
best
don't have
thing.
any brains.
That's true.
It's the next best thing.
They say that beans are brain food. I don't know who says it, but somebody says it. Okay, we'll leave the door zombie alone.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want us to leave you alone, Rodney?
Uh,
I think he wants us to leave him alone. Either that or he's stuttering saying no. And at
Okay,
this
we'll
point,
leave him
Marge is like,
alone.
come
Let's
on!
put the pizza back.
Get your pole out and start checking for tarps. I mean, traps.
all right. So ahead of you, you haven't really paid much attention as to what's on the other side of the door. Like you've seen Rodney and his stool, but haven't really paid attention to down the hall. Um, After about, well, first off, are you approaching down the hall?
Yes, but we're going to take half an hour to go 30 feet.
Okay. Poking every with the 10-foot pole.
Yes. If there are any light bulbs, we're going to unscrew them and put them on the floor. This is the standard procedure for hallways.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, A, there are no
Remove lights.
uh, for there for that one or not, Vaughn, but they did. They took a light bulb out of the perfectly plain hallway just to spite them.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I was there. I
Okay.
think I was part of that, wasn't I?
You
I
might
mean,
have.
for all we know, there was like a camera in there or some kind of bugging device, or there was a monster. It was really like a light fiend.
Yeah, well, there was a track of fluorescent bulbs, that go in pairs all the way down, and you only took one bulb out. So half of one track light. Like,
It was a
anyway.
test, and you passed.
You passed the test.
Anyway. Approaching further down the dungeon, poking the floor stones with. You notice also that you've gone to solid flooring. There is no longer a central river
Oh, there's
of
no more
liquid shit.
river of shit anymore.
Yeah,
Um, how
the
long have we
smell.
been down here?
At
Like on
this
my
point,
best guess.
maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. So my flashlight's plenty good.
Oh, yeah, still plenty good.
But it's
Okay,
still
plenty
dark.
good.
Um, yeah, there's no main lighting yet. No.
Right.
So you continue on about 30 feet. Well, actually, now you're up to about an hour because you took 30 and a half an hour to go 30 feet. Um, but you come to a place where the concrete tunnel is widening out a little bit into a more masonry style. It doesn't stink as bad. It's a different stink now. Um, this is more of rot and decay and less human waste. And there's a dim, almost imperceptible lighting around, but you're not really sure where it's coming from. Almost as though the moisture on the wall itself is giving off a faint glow. Not enough to read by or anything, but enough to dimly see where things are. There comes to a spot where sheet metal great bridge with railing on both sides. Standard wrought iron railing that goes across um, a flowing water source underneath you, but this is not. It's more like um, storm drain and less filth. So it's a little bridge across a river of water. But as you go across the bridge, you notice railing as normal, square, rails, vertical rails. As you get across, they start to bend and twist. By the time you get halfway, no longer touching the rail above it. They're kind of like reaching around in a claw around the handrail. As you keep going further, the claw reaching up onto the handrail appear to be more liquid in form. That's not the word I'm looking for. Fluid. They don't follow the structure of hand bones. One might even say tentacular. And by the time you get to the far walkway, it's no longer discernible as being a rail at all. The handrail is bent off to one side. The vertical shafts are reaching up towards the ceiling, and at places there's what looks like thorns of metal coming out of it. Um, it's like it, you've crossed a threshold from the normal to the insane.
Well, this is
Oh,
probably how it manages to be a bendy
is
Doonjinns.
this how it's resorting itself? This is
That you don't know.
resorting itself.
It's the flexibility.
I think Ricky just assumes that. Um, uh, I will
Sorry.
throw one sock over the railing. Is this a raised area? Sorry, I
Yes, like you would imagine, basically, if you would, there's a larger tunnel that you are
yeah.
basically cutting across horizontally. The water is rushing about the level of the Great Walkway, and a minor bridge, if you will. Um, so you're basically, yeah, you're a larger tunnel.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I shouldn't waste a sock on this. So we can keep moving forward, though, right? We're
Oh
not
yeah,
like, yeah, okay.
no, you can carry on forward through the. Sorry,
No, go ahead. Sorry.
no, okay. You carry on into what seems to be a continuation. Just at this point, it's like whatever madness twisted that bridge is yeah, okay. Apparently went away. Um, it's a normal tunnel going down into the darkness. Are you continuing to check for traps, tarps, what have you?
Yes.
Oh yeah, of
Tyler
course.
Tyler's checking with tarps with his tentacle.
Tyler's the tarper.
So Tyler is carrying both the deconstructed um, dog crate and the 10
Yeah,
foot
at
pole.
this point he takes his like rope and he's just like lashed the dog crate to his back. And he's
Turtle shell.
Yeah, like a Ninja Turtle.
like like a turtle shell.
he's
And
he's
he's just tap
totally
tap tapping
Michelangelo.
away. He's like the Gene Kelly.
Teenage
He's Gene
Mutant
Kellying
Tyler
this dungeon.
Turtles. All right. Well, we need Tyler then to make a smart plus disable device check. Oh wait, you don't have
He
that.
doesn't have that.
Do you have thievery?
No, he's a good boy.
It's so good that he got evicted from Super Mecha Fight Island for cheating.
That was just like
Well,
he
when it
hung
comes to
out.
video games and such, like you cheat to get ahead
It's
in
part of
video
the
games.
culture.
It's a victimless crime.
Okay, I just dropped a die.
Right.
Stop everything. D4 on the floor.
Ooh, no, that's bad. That's bad. Oh,
He
also,
rolled a
Ricky, just
7.
a 7. Okay. Ricky, just to clarify things, did you bring the Thomas rifle and the grenades with you?
Um, I assume I always have that with me.
Okay. No, that's
Is that
fine.
okay?
I'm just
Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm just checking. Just checking.
I pull
Okay.
it out and fire at everything.
Oh, you should burn the
Do
tentacles.
Do you really?
Or the
No,
tentacles?
I don't.
Okay. Well, the
I'm just playing
tentacles
around.
were, as far as you can tell, were made of wrought iron. It's like the rail itself was crafted into a tentacle form.
Do we hear any squeaky sounds? Like
No.
like creakity creaks?
No, actually, on that note, give me perception checks for everyone. Smart plus perception. After that, as far as Tyler is aware, he has not found any tarps with his pole.
Man, isn't that just the way?
And wouldn't you know it,
Clear
Elephantum
sailing.
has a thievery of D10.
Elephantum is a jerk, and he can go fuck himself.
So
I
hard.
wonder if he followed us into this thing. I was rolling for Tyler, wasn't I? I was rolling a 10. Oh, should I roll for March too?
Yeah. This would be for everyone.
March is a 16.
Oh, sorry. What are we rolling?
Smart plus
Perception.
perception.
Smart perception. Okay.
March has those mom eyes.
What did Marge get?
16?
Oh, I got the
Okay.
maximum 12 that I could
What?
get. I rolled 2 6s. I don't even have perception. I just rolled 2 6s on hero and smart.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's just cracks me up. You know, Marge's like, I got a 16. He's like, I got maximum 12. So, well, as Tyler's tapping away, Marge kind of, whereas a more military trained person would hold up their right fist closed over their shoulder, stop. Marge doesn't really have that sort of military training, so she does the mom equivalent, which is to go shh and wave her hands up and down. Everyone else hears silence. Marge, you hear something that sounds like a
Oh, that's not
echoing,
good.
echoing through the hall.
Oh,
That's kind of insectoid.
It was more no. Well, that's maybe me making bad sound effects. You are very familiar with it from the Airy at the Harold G. Wren Memorial
Oh,
Zoo.
wings?
That of many pairs of flapping
Ooh, maybe
wings.
we got bats. Bats in
Not
our belfry.
or
Or maybe
eight
they're.
pairs of
Oh,
wings.
maybe they're flying snakes.
Metagaming. I'm a pigeon.
Better
I'm a
pigeon.
Marge
pigeon.
Marge digs out a piece of mouse jerky.
Now, is this jerky designed to tempt a mouse, or
No,
did you cut up a mouse
it's
and dry it and make
it's
It's
jerky
a
out
out
of
of
the
treat
the
for
mouse?
mouse.
snakes.
It's a treat.
So it's
Is that
it's
really a
it's
thing?
mouse meat. It's not a real thing, as far as I know.
Well, you thought seaweed soup toothpaste wasn't a real thing last
Yeah, I
week,
mean, I don't
so
know the power of my own insanity, but like, I I'm pretending that mouse jerky is a thing that they use at the zoo with the in the reptile house.
well, as
Because I
far
didn't want to bring a
as
live mouse. I thought that would be gruesome.
yeah, potentially. It's basically mouse meat that is turned into jerky in an attempt to
Yeah,
attract the
it's a
snake.
delectable
Okay.
To
morsel of
feed
mouse
your
meat for
pet
that
snake.
snakes find delicious.
Basically snake anchovies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
snake pizza.
Now, are you right now? Marge is the only one who hears this. And also, yeah, you know, the leathery bat-style wings and feathered wings make different sounds. These are definitely feathered wings.
So they're feathered with. Oh. So she's like, I hear the sound of wings, feathered wings. It could be our quarry.
Now, where you're standing is basically at, well, Tyler's a few feet in front of you, poking ahead with his 10-foot
And
pole.
Tyler doesn't hear anything. Like I should have asked because he has that hearing, enhanced hearing as a buff. Was I supposed to roll something different when I rolled him?
No, that's basically lowers the DC for you.
Okay.
But Tyler rolled poorly enough that he was too busy
Tapping.
tapping to pay attention.
Too busy tapping on that Doonjin floor.
The Doonjin. So
Nevermore.
to
Nevermore.
describe to describe what you see, you're about 20 feet down the hall or down the tunnel. Uh, is the rushing water from what you would assume to be a storm drain by the smell. Um, it's definitely not sewage water though, with the rails that twisted up into obscene shapes. It's still dark, but the walls and floor have that uh, almost glowing sheen on it. Larger than it was in the sewers that you approached here. It's approximately 15 feet from the left wall to the wall to your right. It's still mostly cylindrical, but not completely. It's like the walls are curved, but the floor and ceiling are flat, if you would. At the top, what you you didn't really pay attention to it before, but whether they were on the sewers parts, but there are pipes running the length of the ceiling. It
Oh,
continues straight ahead for as far as your flashlights can see at this point, and you hear the flapping.
Wasn't there something about the snakes wind around the pipes and then they get you like you don't see them coming or something?
and then they murder you. Yeah,
So we're
Marge.
probably the right place. Isn't that great?
For
Hey,
a
look, the
snake,
meta
yeah.
pigeon. Notice that your character icons have moved from the sewers to the dungeon. Surely that means you're on the right map location.
Yeah, I think we're on the right path.
So what do you do in the dark and the damp, the glowing damp?
How about like
Just
okay,
roll a handful of
an
dice and hope we
improvised
win.
an improvised flying snake trap?
Describe this improvised flying snake trap to me.
No, I was just trying to think of some way we could like have the sheet kind of like fluff because I was gonna put down the floor, but it's not like a flying snake. It's gonna like crawl on the floor, so that's not good. Maybe we could put the sheet on the end of the 10-foot pole and kind of like dangle it in the air, but like somehow attach the mouse jerky so it seems like delicious prey.
Well, have we been informed about this potential? um.
She did say that she heard wings.
Oh, okay. Perhaps could I try to catch it barehanded by the neck? Like
Oh,
as it flies at me, I just grab out like Mr. Miyagi catches a fly.
no,
Marge
heck with
gives
Mr.
That's what
Shota
Miyagi.
exact.
a side
But I
eye.
grab the snake.
I'm about to say, heck with Mr. Miyagi. Have you seen that Australian waitress? That video of that Australian waitress?
No, I
There
have
was
not.
apparently there was a black mamba that was threatening a couple of patrons of this. I don't know. You don't really see the location. She's clearly in a
Australian town.
she's clearly in waitress outfit. You know, she's got the half skirt, not the half skirt, but the half apron with the pockets in it. You know, with the ticket book and straws and etc. Got that on, and there's a snake threatening, like hissing at some patrons that are walking up. Walks over the snake lunges at her. She grabs the snake behind the head out of the air, like straight snatches it, lifts it up onto the river that's like a few yards away, and just full arm chucks the snake into the river, and turns around and walks back
What?
like it wasn't no thing.
Sounds like
Well,
that
Like,
snake
that's
needed
what Shota
checking.
is gonna do then.
I mean, it was like you watch it a couple times, like, damn, waitress is baller.
So Marge gives Shota a side eye, and she kind of smacks her lips a little, and she's like, "Okay, this is what you want to do. You're gonna smack the snake.
No, I'm gonna grab it.
Okay. How about I'll hold out the sheet. Tyler and I will hold out the sheet between us, so you have a target for when you grab that snake. You throw it to the sheet, and then we'll wrap it up."
Okay.
Oh, here it is. There you go. I threw it in Discord. 55 seconds of delay.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, okay,
Yeah, just
thumbs up,
picks it
double
up, like,
thumbs up. The guy's
like,
like got
no-
a broom
Oh, I remember that
and
now.
a dustpan, and she's
like,
like,
ain't no
"Oh,
thing.
just pick it up."
Yeah, I'm just gonna go get put in the water. Like, whatever. And I forgot you got it from the middle, not the back of the head, which is even more dangerous.
Okay, so I position myself near the sheet with my hands in a like C formation, ready to grasp a flying snake, and I center myself, ready to use my reflexes.
Snake quarterback, basically.
Yeah. Down, set. What should I? Did the snake come? Am I just doing this?
Well, no. First thing is, as of right now, you don't have any visual on a snake. So,
Okay.
what are we describe? So, Shota's part is he's got crouched down, hands like a
Oh,
like a
I
quarterback
thought
ready to
he was
receive.
gonna like draw the snake out. He was gonna be like the target.
Well, as of now, like I said, you have no visual on a snake. You hear them echoing.
I feel
I
like
can't
it's
hear them.
pretty
Only
obvious.
Marge heard them, right?
I feel like it's pretty obvious that any snake would obviously want to eat Shota.
Right.
So he's the perfect bait.
After Marge has flailed her hands around and gotten everyone to shush, then it explains it. Then tuning your ears and hear them. And Tyler is like, God, why didn't I hear that before? This is loud as hell. It's plain
Well,
as
he
day.
stops tapping once Marge
Yeah.
shushes them.
Is the mouse jerky helping at all? Maybe I could hold a piece of mouse jerky in my hand, and then be ready to catch
With the other hand.
the octodactyl. What was the name of it again?
Polydactyl.
Polydactyl in my hand, my other hand.
Although octodactyl is not incorrect either.
Yeah.
So right now, Marge is holding a piece of mouse jerky. Tyler is holding the 10-foot pole with the dismantled dog crate strapped to his back like a turtle shell. And Tyler is in Ricky is in
I
quarterback position.
motion to Marge to hand me a piece of mouse jerky.
Marge hands you her piece of mouse jerky, and Tyler's gonna stop poking things with his pole, and he and Marge are gonna like hold up the sheet between them for for you to fling the snake at when you get it.
And I take the mouse jerky and I hold it at arm's length up in the air as high as I can towards any polydactyls in the area,
Okay.
hoping
So just to make
hoping
sure
to
I have
attract.
just to make sure I have the mental visual on this correct. Um, in the rear line, uh, let's pretend this tunnel is going north. Let's just pretend because that's easy. It's technically actually going west. We'll do it that way. Okay, west. In the rear line, Marge and Tyler are holding up a bed sheet uh, to like make a wall across the tunnel, or is it more against the wall of the tunnel? Is
I
it
think it's more like across the tunnel because you don't want the snake to hit a wall and hurt itself.
right? You don't want to
It's
throw the
basically
snake
like
at the sheet and have it hit the wall.
Shota snatches the snake,
And then I
flings it,
throw it
throws
into the
it
bed sheet.
into the bed sheet, and then we like close the bed sheet and tie it up.
Right. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Hobo sack style.
Yeah, kind of like
Collapse around the
Jean-Claude
snake.
Van
And then
Damme
throw
in
it
his
into the
current game.
crate.
Okay. Which is disassembled.
Oh, we're gonna reassemble that crate before anything else happens.
Okay.
No, actually, I thought the crate was kind of. I was thinking the crate was reassembled and tied to his back.
Oh, it was tied to his back. Oh, see, I still had it in my mental head canon, like it was disassembled and like he was wearing it like a turtle shell kind of thing.
Nah, it was only
Okay.
disassembled long enough, so it's like he has a hump to hump on.
Okay. So he's got a big old back.
He's
One
got a
one of
big
the.
old back, yeah.
All right. Okay. And is the crate now on the floor, or is it still on his back?
We can take it off his back with the idea that we're going to be using it quite soon.
Okay. So, painting the picture, the crate on the floor, reassembled, door open, I would assume, in anticipation
Yeah, it's
of
got one of those lid
incoming
doors
quarry.
too, just in case it was for like a large cat. She probably stole it from the zoo. It's probably not a dog and necessarily a dog specific crate.
Right, just general multi-purpose animal handling crate, or
Mm-hmm.
animal transport crate, I should say.
Front and top loading.
Which one is open, the front or the top?
We will open the top
Okay, so you will then deposit
because
the
it's
snake
always easier to
wrapped in
get
the
things
sheet.
in through the top and harder to get them out. Get easier to get them out through the front or something like that.
Well, yeah, once it's wrapped in the bed sheet, though, we're home free.
Yeah,
I think,
Or so
of
you
depending on
think.
how
course.
big
I mean,
the
if it's anything
snake
like a
is.
normal
I think
snake,
that, yeah, if it's not a giant snake, then everything is cool.
even a giant snake will be okay. And then
Okay.
it'll be protected in the crate. It'll
Yeah,
probably just
and
take a
if
nap.
with the mouse jerky in my hand, I'll like walk forward a little bit, holding it up.
Okay. I need everyone to make a perception check. Smart plus perception.
Well, my maximum last
And
time
for this,
didn't perceive shit, so
for this one,
it doesn't matter.
Tyler does not have a reduced DC because it's not based on hearing.
3.
You damn thing! It's dark. That's right, because you can't hold your flashlight while you have mouse jerky in one hand and the other hand prepared to catch.
Tyler
Exactly.
is 11.
Okay.
And Marge is 15.
Marge is 15. Good for Marge. As Shota walks forward in the dark, I'm assuming the flashlight is on the floor, aimed down the hall to give some semblance of light, but it's awkward because it's on the floor and you up.
Everything
Yeah,
about this
it's
is awkward.
creepy. It's all creepy, like a movie, like a creepy horror movie.
As you walk forward, uh, tiptoeing ever so slightly, going, here, snake, 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 snake. Marge, you see a flicker of movement and have a small flashback to when you were at the Affordable Pizza Parlor with Morgan Formington Card, when he said, "Hey, what the polydactyls like to do is wrap themselves around the pipes on the ceiling, and then when your prey walks down, they drop down and glide and bite him silently." And you see a flicker of movement from behind, or from above you, behind Shota, as a large serpentine form with wings angled back along its body swoop down. You have a split second to react before it impacts Shota's beard,
Behind you!
which Shota will give you just enough time knowing that this threat exists to make
To
some
react.
form of oh shit defensive. I don't need to be where I'm standing roll. What do you want to do?
Can I
If it's,
use dodge?
I was going to say dodge or acrobatics, either one.
Yeah, I would like to use dodge and what, fast and defense, or
Not fast. No, it'd just be defense, dodge,
and
hero.
hero. Dodge, defense, hero. Right.
And this is the first time I've gotten to roll in a couple of sessions. Poorly.
Okay. This is good. 15.
15. Holy crap. With almost Spider-Man like reflexes as you hear Marge scream, "Behind you!" You were in the center of the hallway, and your instincts take over and lunge yourself 3 feet to the left and turn sideways as you get your first glimpse of a polydactyl snake, fangs 3 inches long and dripping with venom, streaking
Oh,
through the place
God.
where the back of your neck just was a split second beforehand. And then as it finishes its silent dive bomb, the wings flutter out, all 8 of them, and it turns into a bank and whips itself back around. I need everyone to roll initiative. Which, if everyone forgot how to do it, is fast plus hero.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. That was not good. 3.
Tyler has a 5 and Marge has a 5.
And 3 for me.
So that means none of you rolled higher than a 3 on any of your dice.
No. Yeah.
That was all 1, 2s, and 3s.
What?
You got fast and hero. So if you got a 5, if you
I
got
got
two
a
Well,
1
you
and a
could have rolled a
4.
4 and a 1.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's true. I
You
forgot.
I
could have
got
rolled
2
a
or
4
3
and
and
a
a
1.
1 and a 4.
Wow.
And I rolled a 1 and a 2, of course. Yay.
All right. Well, after reacting after its dive bomb ambush, the surprisingly fast polydactyl. Now, you have a brief glimpse of it in the uh, flashlight light. Wow, that sounds weird to say. Anyway, in the light of the flickering flashlight, we'll put it that way. That sounds better. Um, this thing appears to be about 4.5 feet long, approximately, let's say about 2 inches in diameter. So a pretty thick snake. Not a constrictor by any means, but it's also, which makes it a lot more terrifying. And you realize lost none of the land snake's speed as it turns around and sweeps right back at you. This time aiming at your face. Oh,
Not the face.
that's going to be a nasty one. Um, so I need you to make some sort of defensive roll. If you
Okay.
wish to, you can drop the mouse jerky and draw your sword and use super
Oh,
flashy
right.
weapon skills.
Super flashy Yeah, super flashy weapon
Or you can
skills.
continue to use dodge to attempt to evade.
Well, we got to take it alive, I guess, eh?
Yeah, that
Mm,
was the task.
that was the task. So I think Shota would probably stick to the task, knowing that the NPC wants it alive, and I'll use dodge.
Okay.
I just gotta find the right dice to roll because fuck this one.
It's
My
going to
dice are
dice
bad
jail.
today. I'm like, how long till my new
Oh,
dice arrive?
well, 9. 9 is what I rolled,
Okay.
which is
So
probably not good enough.
no, you dodged out of the way of the first one like lightning, but did not quite get your balance back. So when it whipped around and came at you with blinding speed, you were not in your proper position to jerk back the other way, and you kind of slipped a little bit on the goo. You said you had 9.
9.
Okay, that's a difference of 6.
Ew.
And that's a 3, so that's 9 damage.
Oh,
Which
that will
that
be an
breaks.
injury rank.
That's an injury off. All right. So it rushes forward. You're off balance, sinks its fangs into your collarbone, and starts to wrap it wraps its tail around you, not like a constrictor does, to balance itself and prepare for fight. So it's not restraining you or grappling you in any form, just attached. We'll put it that way.
Right.
And
Like a
next in the
snake
initiative,
would.
right? Wrap around it, bite, 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 apply a ton of venom. Um, Speaking of venom, I need you to make a tough plus
Oh.
hero.
Oh, okay. Ten.
Good enough. All right. Now, finishing the Polydactyl's turn, or Marge. You both have the same initiative, so just to go first um, every turn, basically. Whoever has the most advantageous first turn gets to go.
Out of
Both
Tyler
of
or Marge.
Yeah, you get both of your people.
I've been contemplating what I want both of my people to be doing. Probably the
I
most
would not.
advantageous is Marge, because she would pull out at this point her ketamine gun and try to shoot the thing with the dart.
I was just about to say I would not recommend using Wrath of Nature.
Yeah, that wasn't the plan, because friendship and saving need to take it alive. So she's gonna try to ketamine dart that, and I'm not sure what she would roll for her ketamine dart.
Well, see, ketamine dart guns would operate under skill. Um, Marge has never really had to develop that skill because most of the time, when the creatures that she's trying to stun are zoo animals that are mostly immobile and just need to be taken in for checkups or surgery or some other procedure when they're not actively trying to kill you. And an immobile rhino, for example, is a pretty easy target. A thrashing snake that's latched itself onto your friend is a slightly more difficult target. In this case, it would be an offense plus hero plus firearms. If you don't have firearms, well, just offense plus hero.
It's an 11.
Okay. Taking aim at the rapidly moving winged snake, you level the dart gun, and while they're flailing around, you fire. You manage to not. Oh, actually, well, because 11 missed by a total of 8. So, Shota, what I need you to do now is make defense plus acrobat versus 8 to see if she hit you on accident.
Missed by 8.
A snake is a very small target, especially at range.
Oh yeah, I got 13.
Easy enough. So you see her level the ketamine dart gun. It occurs to you, maybe not. And then flies, misses the snake. You kind of duck your shoulders up and kind of almost give her bad man same side looks. And sadly, the ketamine dart did not hit the polydactyl. At
Oh
least not on the first try.
shit.
Okay, well, Tyler instead, he's going to. Well, he has the sheet, but he also brought a net. But I think the sheet's in his hands already, so what he's going to do is try to throw the sheet over the snake like a net
Oh,
and
good
cramp it
idea.
style.
That's a very good idea.
But that's still like an improvised weapon, which I don't think he has any, like, applicable whatchamadoodles for.
I'm sorry, I just got distracted by Jean Claude Van Damme punching a snake in Discord.
Yeah,
So Tyler is
it's
attempting to
real.
cover both Ricky and the snake. Not yeah, Ricky and with the sheet.
He's
No,
aiming for the
mostly snake.
snake.
Mostly snake.
Because the idea
Okay.
is that, like, by throwing the
Oh,
sheet over the snake's wings are, like, tangled and stuff, and it.
kind of more like garroting the snake kind of thing
It's
off
not
of Ricky.
No,
garroting.
no, covering the
It's
snake.
just like
Like
Well,
it's
yeah,
you
wrapped
throw
around me,
stuff
but
over a
cover
bird
the
and
snake.
suddenly they're, like, impaired from doing anything.
right, right. Well, it's just if you would have a visual, like Ricky is pretend Ricky is facing a direction. Latched into his collarbone is the snake's fangs, and the rest of the snake is halfway wrapped around his waist, like a belt almost. So you need to basically get the snake off, and
Well,
if that mental image is aiding in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. It's just like it would basically you would take the edge of the sheet and put it over the snake's
Just
head.
cover
Oh,
me.
and
Just cover me.
well, in that case, he takes the ketamine gun from Marge and he walks up to the snake and just shoots it in the back.
okay,
I didn't realize it was it was like statically attached to what's his face, to Shoda.
it was more. Yeah, the snake is flailing around while it's attached to your friend, and so Tyler will take the ketamine gun from Marge, approach or to basically to melee range and to base contact, as the war gamers would say, and point blank ketamine the snake.
He has exotic firearms. I don't know if that actually applies since this is like just this is
He
a
has,
gun.
wait, he has exotic firearms.
Yeah.
Oh, that was for. Oh, I know what that was for. That was for the anti-tank rifle.
Yeah, I think so.
That's no, that is literally the only weapon that has been introduced into this game that classifies as exotic. That
I think I wanted to also be able to use alien guns or something for some reason.
or alien laser pistols,
Yeah,
plasma
I just wanted to be
rifles,
prepared in case we came across a
flamethrower,
laser.
or the anti-tank rifle that you have several of. Um, but unfortunately, that doesn't really apply to a ketamine dart gun. But that would give you a that would negate the snake's ability to dodge. So you could have your offense plus firearms plus hero. Oh. Ugh. The snake is very occupied with his meal.
Well, like the oh, never mind.
There is always a chance things go wrong, but in this case, it's
Another
it,
11.
that's so. Yeah, you stomp up to the back of the polydactyl, put the base of the barrel, the back of its spine, slightly to the left, so you don't want to paralyze it, and thunk, the dart straight into polydactyl, who does not appear happy about that. Alas, doesn't have a choice in the matter. And as Shota, your turn comes up, you feel its thrashing becoming less and less. The muscles, thick bands of muscle that run the length of the polydactyl's body, becoming softer and less tense. Its grip around your
Ooh.
waist slipping.
May I restrain it with my hands?
Don't even need to roll.
Oh, okay.
Extract it from your collarbone painfully. Its eyes blue, go dull.
And
Oh,
as Tyler sees Shota now holding the
and
snake in one hand, he's like, "Oh my god, you did it! You did it! You really did it!"
yeah, and bring the sheet over here, and then I run. I kind of move towards
So like Marge picks up the sheet and
Marge with
she's,
the sheet,
you
and
know,
I plunge it in there, and we wrap it up.
we tie a little knot at the top, like the hobo sack, and then we put it in the dog crate.
Okay. So now, whoever is carrying the dog crate um, can now add to that entry containing one tranquilized polydactyl, 4.5 feet in length.
So I'm not quite sure how we do this, but I guess somehow, how did I have it strapped before?
That's I had it in my head cannon, mantled, like because it would become kind of like two halves of a, and then you put the top half inside the bottom half, put the door inside, and
I was
strap the whole thing to your
I
back.
was picturing some rope being threaded in through the grates on the crate. It's probably
Well,
still a little lopsided though, I think. There's no way to get it
if
like secure.
if it's a fully qualified zoological animal handling crate, there would be rings and rivets, not rivets. God, what's the word I'm looking for?
Brackets,
That it's
hoops,
not quite loops, basically, that you
handles.
can thread rope through, because you would need to secure the crate inside a truck so that it could be maneuvered without sliding all over the place. Um, eye holes. That's what I'm looking for.
I have misplaced my pencil. What is this
Uh,
sorcery?
so there would be
There it
places
is.
to. Oh, really, dude? That's messed up. That's messed up.
I found it.
You found my
Whoa,
pencil?
we
Oh, there
live
it is.
together. It's weird.
So we have lashed this to Tyler's back again.
Okay, you spend about 20 minutes tying it, retying it to make sure it's you notice the snake, it's the snake. I keep calling it a snake. The polydactyl weighs about 25 pounds. It's a pretty hefty thing.
Tyler's gonna have a little snack of his jalapeno poppers to give him the energy for carrying this polydactyl around.
All right, easy enough to do. Now, one thing that both Marge and Tyler know, particularly after all the ruckus is done, and while the crate Tyler's back, um, the fluttering hasn't stopped. The one that attacked Shota above you, wrapped around the pipes. That wasn't the one fluttering. There's more polydactyls in this hall.
I think it would be okay. Like Tyler brought a net, and we have the sheet. I think it would be good to try to.
No
Hmm.
longer have the sheet.
Oh yeah, we don't have the sheet. We have the net though.
You do have a net. Is this like a butterfly net?
No, it's like a net, like the kind you would throw over something.
For fish, for
Oh,
whales,
like
butterflies,
Robin's net.
cargo, like a cargo
Yeah,
net.
like a cargo net,
Okay, so
or
okay, like
or would be in a
canvas straps.
gladiatorial arena kind of thing.
Okay, canvas straps made into a big giant net, kind of. Well, it's a cargo net. That's what I'm thinking
And
of.
while it
Um,
has open spaces, I think it kind of can create like a barrier situation
like just so I'm
if
on
we
the
hold
same
it
page.
over our heads. That's what I was thinking. Maybe I don't know. It's probably not a.
If I'm not getting this right here, this is what I'm, or pretty similar to what I'm thinking of when I think of cargo net. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
actually
that kind of
that
thing.
actually
It's just
that
without the
wasn't.
hooks.
Yeah, this is actually more accurate. That was just the first result. Um, that's more what I was thinking of, like
It's the kind
flat
of thing
canvas strips.
intentionally brought for like a similar purpose for the sheet, just not not a solid piece of fabric. The idea was to bring it to throw over things to restrain them. But I was just thinking that maybe we can use it as like this makeshift kind of shield, even though it's like open. Having it like between us and open airspace kind of creates this barrier,
Right. It
a
makes it
slowdown point.
it makes it more difficult for the polydactyl to go straight through and likely to get snagged on something
Blocks
like a
wingage.
right. Um, like like a dolphin in a fish net. Oops, shouldn't have brought that up. Um, okay, so and this is basically being um, carried over the back over your backs or in the air.
I was like
Uh,
maybe Marge and Shota are holding it between them, and Tyler is in the middle, like underneath as well, and using his pole.
okay, I'm kind of getting the idea. Like Tyler and Shota are on the inside, arms stretched out to each corner for one side, so they're stretching it out like a an awning, as you would
Right.
with
Yeah, Tyler. Not, I mean,
Tyler in the
Shota
middle,
and
tap tap
Marge
tapping.
are doing an awning, and
Okay,
Tyler's tapping.
so if another strike were to occur, the idea being it would have to deal with the net.
We would slow it down, and there wouldn't be an immediate being able to latch onto somebody.
Okay, okay. Anti-Metroid net, basically. Um, all right. So you tap on, you continue further down the hall, hearing the fluttering. Um, you do notice in the next 20 or 30 feet or so, it does start curving northward. You've been going west. It's curving
Is there?
northward.
I was thinking maybe we turn around and try to go back the way we came, even though if this dungeon changes its shape, it's probably we're probably screwed. Anyhow, because it's probably totally changed behind us.
Maybe, but so the intent being to return
Because we just need
your
to get
quarry.
one snake, right?
Yeah,
So we got the snake. We need to get out of here before we find a tarp or more
that's
snakes.
Shota. Uh-oh, did we lose him again?
His mic is destroyed again. The polydactyl has him.
It did. It must be the venom. Um, it's killed his voice box. All right. So, well, if that's barring, I don't, I don't. Um, the intent being to go back, trudge through the sewers, or go back across the bridge, past Rodney, have him open the door for you, go back through the sewers, climb back up through the manhole, which is how are you going to get there through the manhole this time?
Well, it's still in the bag, so I think we can like take it out of the crate long enough to like get it through the manhole.
Okay.
Like
Who?
we can lift the bag up on the pole and put it on the side of the road next to the manhole cover. And we could probably, once we get there, like, call what's his name at the pizza place and have him come out to meet us.
Okay, so I would assume that it would be Marge helming the
These,
removal of the polydactyl from the crate.
oh yeah.
Okay. Um, I need her to make a charming plus animal handling roll. And I just checked her sheet. She does have animal handling. Quite well, actually.
Yeah. I think that's something I spent lots of stuff. I don't have that much charming, but I do have the animals handled. She's touched a lot of animals. I keep trying to find a good place on my desk space to put my tray.
See, I don't normally do dice trays when I'm ready regular gaming on a table, but on my desk I have so little space. Like I have to have a tray, otherwise the dice go
That's
everywhere.
why I have a tray, but even then I'm like trying to find a place where it's there, but it's also convenient for me to throw dice at it.
Fair point. Yeah.
So I can like wind up my arms and everything and put the spin on it and everything.
Oh yeah,
Um,
get your dice
yeah,
English.
because I feel like, sometimes I feel like I'm not like rolling my dice enough, not really rolling them. I'm just dropping them because of the amount of space. Anyway, that was a 14.
14. Okay. You go in and kind of you know whispering some silly little nothings in a soothing voice. Reach in, feel around for the polydactyl, which is incredibly disturbing for you because there's multiple pairs of wings, and snakes aren't supposed to have that. So it takes a second to find the back of the head, which of course you want to secure when you're moving any snake, unless you're that crazy
Oh, well,
waitress
it's
chick,
still like
apparently.
tied up in a bat in the sheet.
True, it's still tied up in the sheet, but that doesn't mean you're not going to irritate it and make it lash out in some way. Oh, you're just going to grab the bag. Is that what's going on? You're just
Yeah,
pick up
yeah,
the
yeah.
bag? Okay. Let it bang against the hole on the whole way out? Like, okay. Well, I'm assuming with a 14, you pick it up
We
with the
could try
bag
to soothe
and
and everything, but
gently.
I'm not taking it out of the hobo bag.
No, 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 no. You're taking the bag out of the crate and leaving it in the bag.
So
At least that's what I was
reaching into the crate, I'm
thinking.
going for the not, the part that is not, that is kind of like a cushion against snakeage,
Okay. All right.
as opposed to
Uh,
the single layer of fabric again that is between me and a snake.
questioning the thread count you use for your kids, pulling it out, but you manage to do so without injuring or in any way, shape, or form. Or, I keep saying snake, the polydactyl in any way, shape, or form. It's a strange lump to behold. Um, go up back to street level. Are you going up basically one-handed, holding the snake in the bag? Uh, well, meanwhile, Tyler and Ricky in absentia have been for which you two place the polydactyl back into. And with the 14, none of that happens, has any problems whatsoever. You can tell it has slowly regained its mojo. Ketamine doesn't seem to keep it out for very long, but it's moving, but it is definitely not back at active hunting, and is also contained within the bag, so is chill. Place it back into the crate. Reassemble on the
Yay!
street level. And, I think we've still lost our Shota. Oh, I think maybe he lost internet. Sent him a message and it hasn't been delivered yet.
He's just like gone.
Just poof. Okay. And you said at this point you had intended to call Morgan?
Yeah.
Just regular old phone call?
Yeah, I'd be like, hey man, we got your snake. You might want to meet us. Because I have a feeling that, like, we want to go back to uh, have regular patronage at the Affordable Pizza Parlor, I think. And I have a feeling that bringing a multi winged snake into a restaurant might affect their sanitation rating.
Yeah. Oh, well. You've been there before now. Well, Marge hasn't, but eh, they're one of those establishments that is ecstatic that they got a B.
Yeah.
Like,
But even then, you just don't have, like, wild animals running around.
yeah, that part is true. That part is true. And you mentioned you give him a call. Morgan picks up and basically acknowledges. A few minutes later, because it's only about 2 blocks away, he comes around the corner and is like, "Hey, I heard you got me snake."
Yeah, snake in a bag.
At this point, Morgan realizes when you haven't seen him standing up, he's about the height of your typical 12-year-old boy. Um, but he's still strapped in. I mean, he doesn't look like a boy. He's strapped in all of his adventuring gear with all the various tools and lights, and on hanging from one hip, a slung holster for the speed draw is what looks to be like a 9 or 10 millimeter pistol. Some decent gear, several magazines on the other side of the belt, uh, a couple of knives on the boots. He's pretty well stacked. Um, he does not, however, look to have any means of transporting your large crate with a flying snake in it.
Does well, like, what did he intend to do with it? I mean, surely he had a plan.
Kind of looks up to you and goes, yeah, I guess I didn't think this one out all the way, did I?"
We know a guy who's a drop driver. He can, like, take you and your snake somewhere.
Are you gonna hit him off with Dave?
Call Dave up.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so you call up Dave. Dave shows up, sees you and Tyler and Ricky, and looks Morgan, who he just assumes is a kid with way, way, way too much gear on for an urban setting. Um, you know, you don't walk around the city in full on Tomb Raider kit, and that's what Morgan's just chilling in. There's the crate, and eyes go from Marge to Morgan to the crate to Marge to the crate to Morgan back to Marge, and he just goes, "Oh hell, the fuck no!"
Marge, like, kind of waggles her phone. She's like, 5-star rating, 20% tip.
I need you to make a charming. Well, first off, are you telling the truth about the 20% tip?
Absolutely.
I need you to make a charming plus persuasion roll.
I don't think I have any of this stuff. I don't think I have persuasion. It's
Let's
a
see here.
shame that. Oh, I do.
Marge.
I have a D4. Okay.
You do? Yeah, you do. It's your most recent skill.
I guess I was planning ahead for this moment when Shota was not available since he has a lot of the charming.
He's usually your face man, but he's apparently occupied by playing with the snake.
9.
9. Okay. You see him close his eyes, and even behind, you see him look up to the heavens like, please, Lord, help me from these stupid. Loaded in, reaches into his pocket, beep, beep, trunk opens up.
Oh, I thought the crate.
He's not
I thought
doing
the
the
crate was
loading.
going to
He's
be a
not touching.
passenger. There's totally room in the back seat for crate. Wait, what kind does he have a Is this like a kind of like a SUV or a minivan type
Yeah,
vehicle?
it's an SUV.
Okay,
We
okay.
had
So we'll
decided
load.
it was like a
It's not a sedan. Okay.
a CRV slash Land Rover kind of deal.
So
So
we'll,
it's
we'll
a
totally like load the crate in the back.
just still eyes closed, waiting to hear the trunk clunk
See
and
Morgan
all the
get
doors.
settled in the back seat, and then go ahead and send off the payment.
And then looks at you and again, eyes still closed, just says, if anything happens with whatever's in that crate, I know where you live. And he just turns on his heel and gets into his car and
It's
drives off.
fine. Just make Morgan remove it from your vehicle, okay? If he
I ain't touching that thing.
You shouldn't. He is trained professional theoretically.
Oh God.
I mean, he wanted the snake for some reason. So I feel like, that's on him. It's his responsibility now.
Okay. So Dave and Morgan and the polydactyl driving off to who knows where. Well, you do have to know where actually because of the whole lift rating safety things. Um, Morgan says that well, also Dr. Blagg had mentioned previously that Morgan was one of the primary purveyors of the samples he has in his of the obscure things in his laboratory. Um, so they're all headed back to the nuclear particle accelerator research laboratory.
So at this point, Marge like looks at like Shota and Tyler, and she's like, so yeah, we needed to help him get that snake for some reason, but why did we need to get him that snake?
Well, at this point, you're basically be having a conversation with yourself,
I know
which
that
I would
this is
love to
me
hear.
saying I totally don't remember
Oh,
why we were doing this,
oh,
and I did not make note
opposed
of
to the
it.
DM. Okay. The whole reason for that was basically Morgan was on a job to acquire a polydactyl for Dr. Blagg. Step one. Step two, Morgan got hit by a trap, couldn't finish the job. Step three, Morgan had banked a favor from Elephantum. Step four, Rodney took a tumble, couldn't let anyone in. He called in his favor with Elephantum as in the door. So you, in
I think
return for finishing in his favor, um, that's basically finishing his job paid off him getting you into the dungeon.
Well, I think it was something before that. I was trying to because I remembered that Dr. Blarg had pointed us Morgan's way,
Oh yeah.
but I can't remember
Oh,
why.
oh, you guys wanted to be in the dungeon because that's where all the magical items are, including the items that could potentially break the Necropancer's force field.
Oh, well, geez, I wouldn't have left so soon if I remembered that part.
Well, but, however,
Well, at
you
least now
guys
we don't have to have the
put,
snake with us.
and true, and you put Rodney back on his stool, so theoretically he could let you back in the dungeon.
And now that we know what it's like, we can maybe bring more supplies when we go back.
Yeah.
Like umbrellas. I think umbrellas would be a really good thing
Like
to
an
bring.
umbrella. It's actually not a bad idea. As dumb as it sounds, that's not a bad idea. Um, yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
we're
get.
gonna go down
I'm
the
a,
street to Elephant World and pick up some of those gray umbrellas with the trunks at the top.
I'm gonna have to give award either Tyler or Marge a style point for that. Is
That will be Marge.
that was clever. I took the health rank off the wrong person.
Oh, is Tyler? Is Tyler docked?
And he shouldn't be. It should be Shota. All right, there we go. Now we're good. Point. It's approaching midnight, and we have been without players. But so I assume we will wrap this up for the evening. But yes, the whole point behind going in the dungeon in the first place was that uh, rewinding a while. Um, Tyler and Ricky had been doing research into the parallel dimension or parallel realities in multiple dimensions theory. Found sliders, didn't get anywhere. Um, Went to find force fields, didn't find a whole lot, but then went and chatted up Dr. Blag. Dr. Blag told you that parallel realities in multiple dimensions is crackpot nonsense, and he won't have anything of it. Um, Force fields, however, he could tell you there's two types of force fields. There's technological force fields and magical force fields. The biggest difference being telling which one you're dealing with is technological ones have a big giant generator box and some sort of emitting array, which you all remembered the Necropancer did not have.
Yes. It's
Therefore,
now
was
come back to
most
me,
likely, which is most likely magical.
which is why I
And
made a note of it this time.
and Dr. Blag went on to say that the defenders of the city does not see kindly into magical artifacts or magical items in any way, shape, or form because it as a shortcut to the power without having the sort of responsibility that goes along with it. Um, you, Whereas a superhero, you have to basically grow and evolve into your powers over the course of time and dealing with the consequences and repercussions that come with it. Magical stuff lets you just shortcut straight to nuke planet, kind of in extreme cases. So they tend to secure most of the powerful magical items that they find inside deep within their headquarters, um, more to protect the city from abuse than anything else, but they don't see kindly on it. Um, and as you recall, you might recall from way back in the beginning when you first got a tour of Defenders HQ and were first finding things, you were shopping for gear, hazmat suits specifically, and the supply master said that there were magical items, but they're way, way, way above your pay grade. Um,
Yes. I mean, I
Fast
don't think we
forwarding,
have a pay grade at this point. Because
sure
didn't
you
I
do.
get Bert maxed out his card?
We're also, you haven't actually gotten to payday yet.
Yeah, that. We haven't been able to earn any extras. And Marge hasn't done her, whatever, replaced her ID cards yet. So she
Right.
can't charge anything to her expense account. And but this is a good see this is very Marge because like Marge is like, why are we going here in the first place? It was like Tyler and Shota being Tyler and Shota just come to her with like, okay, we gotta go to this Doonjin and we gotta go get a flying bird, I mean a flying snake. And what do we gotta do to like catch a flying snake? And she's like, okay, I'll get some stuff together, we'll catch a flying snake. She's very goal oriented, so she's like, okay, we've got the flying snake. We're back. We're out of here.
And then, wait, why did we get the flying snake to
Wait,
begin with? Like,
wait.
we
Yes,
did
as
it,
the car
but
pulls away.
why?
Hey guys, why did we have to get that flying snake in the first place?
And so all of that was a chain reaction of events, basically on the lead that dungeon may be an item or something that would help you break the Necropancer's force field.
And
Which
maybe
for the
Marge is
first,
also secretly trying to buy some time so that like Bert will finish whatever he's doing and join them before they go back.
yep. Oh, and this Marge being Marge would also notice because she wasn't told by Morgan, but yeah, there's absolutely no signal once you get it into the dungeon. It's gone, dead.
Okay.
Marge would have noticed that because she's Marge and checking her phone 30 seconds, every 30 seconds for stuff about the kids.
For any texts
Um,
about kids throwing up.
exactly. Um, yeah, the sewer had dodgy connection, but it was there, here and there. That threshold over the running water river where the bridge started warping and twisting into an abyssal nightmare. Um, it was gone. Not jammed like it was in the nuclear particle accelerator research laboratory, which is um, this is just gone. So yeah, that was, and for the first time in a year almost, there's a plot thread that's going somewhere
Woohoo!
with cause and effect and interaction.
Oh, I should stop recording. I am stopping recording. Bye, recording. Bye, Shota. Don't
Bye,
die.
Shota. Lots of stuff to cut off at the end there.
Bye.